Brave New World! Ladies and gentlemen, Brave New World, start me up. Okay, let me make sure I know what I'm doing here. Because the enemies here can suck. As you can see right here, Edgar has a trident, which is automatically gauntleted. Seriously, BTB, this is the perfect section to have field music in. I understand if there's spatial limitations or whatever. Noise Blaster still kicks ass in this game, at least early on. Fun fact, at the end of this cave, in... Ho ho ho, that could have been bad. At the end of this cave, in the overworld, in the fields, right out here, there's an enemy, I forget what they're called, they're the humanoid, hobo-looking dudes. Well, if you use Noise Blaster, bam. If you use Noise Blaster, you can confuse them, and every once in a while they'll cast Vanish, and as a result of Noise Blast, they will cast Vanish on you. And if you do it long enough to be able to get all three of your members cleared, or vanished if you prefer, then you're set to potentially grind a little bit, right? Since very few enemies, either there or inside Mount Colts, use magic, and you just have to, you know, basically be careful. If you spam Noise Blaster, it's actually really hard to get hit by magical attacks. There's just one problem. The game is designed to basically cut your experience by the time you reach like level, I want to say 10 or so. Up until a certain point in the game, I want to say after Narsh, I believe. And this is to prevent you from over-leveling too early on. So I kind of like how they basically said, hey Ted, grinding isn't the answer. Now you can grind, especially... oh fuck. Especially later on when you have more access to do so. But people are generally completing this game at really early levels. And generally about the same consistent levels. Ow. Yeah, your level cap is 50, by the way. You cannot level past 50. Not that you'll need to. That would probably make this game a cakewalk. I beat this game at about level 40. And not even everybody was at level 40. And you could argue that even that was more than necessary, simply for the fact that with an optimal strategy, an optimal setup, optimal whatever, you could beat the game. Most people apparently beat the game by about level 30, which I find to be ridiculous, but the fact that so many people are able to do it tells me that I'm the one who's ridiculous. Yeah, see, auto crossbow can miss. And it has a higher chance of missing when you hit more targets, although that's just, you know, basic probability. That rage is actually not bad to get because of slow X. Ah, see? High magic block, therefore you missed. Oh wait, they're immune to fire. Fuck. Ah, I still killed him. Yeah, I love CTB. I'm sorry. Every single second is used up properly. In ATB, even in ATB, you have the chance to basically be slow on your input. Especially if you're using, say, a fight command, something that doesn't cause wait time like with the spells. And as a result, you could lose your turn or lose valuable speed, especially if your characters are fast as hell, or if they're hasted. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that problem here. The game functions basically almost identical to Final Fantasy X. Ugh. Yeah, BTB, I personally recommend you change that dialogue to something similar to the original. Only because it makes no sense for him to just dash off and bump into something. That's like, why did he do that? The reason he did that originally was obvious. He had sprint shoes, he could move faster. And I know sprint shoes don't do the same thing here, but since they cause haste, it kind of works the same way, right? Because he's hasted, he moved too fast and hit against the wall. Most relics also have defensive benefits and or stat boost in addition to their main effects. Coordinate them accordingly with your armor setup for maximum enjoyment. Now you can see there it says defense 5. I'm guessing that there are more stats that you just can't quite see, but I'm going to buy them anyway. First off, we're getting Dragoon Seal immediately. That's a given. Goggles. And now I'm going to talk to Shadow real quick and then grind a little after I get some of the items here. Yeah, these are still here. They just switched around the items, which was genius. Eye drops are actually incredibly useful in this game, especially since you can't just tent or sleeping bag your way through them. I mean, not that you needed to in vanilla, but if you did feel the need to get rid of the blind status, you could just use one of your 99 tents. Shadow is not as useful as I would like him to be, but he's still pretty good. He's one of the only 2 people who can cast Haste X, or Haste-Ga, if you prefer. Him and Gao, which makes him incredibly useful at times. He'd be really useful early on if we could use him more often. Oh my god. Shadow can throw shurikens as he could in the original game, however, you can hit L and R and basically AoE it, like you would a spell. And his scrolls are actually pretty useful this time around. It's actually a good idea to stock up on those. Oh yeah, you can't walk past here anymore. Okay, let's go grind a little bit for some GP, not a lot, because there's only so much you can really get. I should have tented or something. What I like about this game the most, honestly, is the Esper levels, because it fundamentally... Ah, fuck, I forgot to equip it, really? It fundamentally changes the way the game plays. More so than in vanilla when they introduced Espers. Ow! Oh, fuck. I mean, these guys aren't pushovers, but goddamn. As you can see here, Goggles not only blocks blind, but it gives a +2 to Vigor, a +2 to Stamina, which actually does something, and a +5 to Defense. Dragoon Seal not only changes Fight to Jump, but gives him a +3 to Vigor, +5 to Speed, awesome, and +20 to Evasion. His evasion is now as high as Terra's, not that that means anything. But considering he'll be in the air, he won't really need it. Fortunately, the prices of the inns are not jacked up. They're definitely fair, especially considering that they're a lot more useful now. I just think that some of the stuff is overpriced, or maybe too little gil is retrieved. I ended up having to ask people, you know, hey, where can I go to grind for gil in the World of Ruin? Because I had done basically everything but Duke Kefka's Tower, and I wanted to buy things because half the stores in the game, I only had half the stuff bought from them. Because everything was just that expensive. Now you could argue that you don't need every item, you don't need to optimize, so to speak, every character for the final dungeon. I don't know if I would agree with that, but... that's one of the few complaints I have about this mod, is that shit is too expensive. Especially early on. Dude, Edgar's a beast. If you pump enough of his Palador levels into him, it's insane. So, I'm going to go ahead and just sum up what the Esper level system is. I don't want to save it only because it's going to be a while before we get there. A long while. Oh my god, I have to beat Dataluma. Good luck. It took me like 6 tries to beat that fucker last time. Yes, you heard me correctly. Not only did a boss in Final Fantasy VI beat me, but he beat me 5 fucking times. So the Esper level system is actually pretty interesting. Characters can't equip whatever Espers that they want. They just cannot. Instead, characters are restricted to a select few Espers, varying on the character. For example, Locke can equip the Ifrit Esper, the Rama Esper, Phoenix Esper, and I think one other that I can't remember off the top of my head. But each person has about 3 or 4 Espers out of the entire list that they can get. So it's imperative to get every Esper if you can. Now some characters like Terra and Celeste can equip like 6 or 7 Espers apiece. Nice. So, I wish I could demonstrate it right here and now. I mean, I have a file. If I really wanted to, I guess I could. Oh, man. Ow! Ow! Yeah, it's gonna be cheaper to tent this. So, for example, let's say we have the first set of Espers, and then some, and we take Locke, and let's say he can equip Rama and Ifrit. I'm pretty sure those are the Espers that he can equip up during the, from when you get Espers and the Magitech Research Facility, when you when you find Ifrit and Shiva. Now, you could equip them with one or the other, but here's the thing. Whenever you win a battle, you don't gain ability points anymore. You gain 2 things. You gain spell points and Esper points. Spell points are not multiplied by any kind of multiplier. They're just, they're fixed. So let's say you gain 5 spell points. You can then open up a mini menu within the within the espers themselves, Rama or Ifrit, and then you can choose to purchase those spells. So let's say you don't feel like having certain spells, because with the Esper system originally, you were forced to learn spells within that fixed order based on the multiplier. Nice. So, I don't remember exactly every single thing you can do in, so I'm obviously, making shit up. But let's say you open up Ifrit and he's got Fire, and it costs 10 spell points, and then there's Fire 2 that costs 25 spell points, etc., etc. You can then use those spell points to purchase those individual spells. You could buy Fire 1 once you get 10 spell points, or you can save up those 10 spell points until you reach 20 or 25 or whatever to get Fire 2. Or you can just spend your 10 spell points on Fire and then restock up on the 25 to gain Fire 2. And you don't have to buy, you can buy them from any Esper even if you don't have it equipped, as long as you're able to equip it. That's the key thing here. So those are spell points. The other thing, like I said, you gain are... Oh, okay, I can't tent. In that case, I'm going to have to... The other thing that you gain are Esper points. Esper points build up until you get what's called an Esper level. Just like experience, you build up until you gain a normal level. Now, in the original game, your stat gains for your Espers were literally tied directly to your levels. So in other words, part of why 6 is so annoying to deal with in building the right stats is you have to micromanage where you're at, and you have to say, okay, Shadow's gonna level up in like 3 battles, I better equip Fenrir to him, so on and so forth. And that could be a hassle, especially if you level up and realize, oh fuck, I forgot to equip the right Esper. Not here. You build Esper points regardless, as long as you have an Esper equipped. Doesn't matter which one, you're gonna gain Esper points. And once you achieve enough Esper points, you gain an Esper level. Esper levels are saved. They're stored in a bank, basically. So you get an Esper level, and then, let's use Locke as an example again. Sorry, I don't have the table in front of me. Let's say Rama will increase his Vigor by 2, but Ifrit will increase his Speed by 2. Well, he can cache them in the sub-menu and decide, okay, do I want +2 to Vigor or do I want +2 to Speed? It's like those, I think Dark Souls is like that, where you can use whatever abilities you want to gain the Esper levels, but then you can cache them into something else. Or as a proper DPG example, as he used in his Final Fantasy II review, he can use nothing but magic attacks to kill his foes, and then choose to place those stats in something like Strength or Vitality, despite not actually demonstrating Strength or Vitality. Same concept here. So you can actually build your characters how you want to. Do you want Locke to be really powerful, really fast? Do you want to give him maybe some extra permanent HP? And every Esper is balanced. No Esper is, at least in terms of Esper levels, is outclassed. There's always an equivalent. You're not going to get Ifrit that's +2 to speed and then later get, something else that's +4 to speed. That's not going to be the case. Best case scenario, you're going to get like a +1 to speed and like +15 max HP or something like that. So basically, as far as I can tell, every single Esper's level up that they can give you, their stat ups, are equivalent, just in different areas. So you can make Locke a speed demon. That's what I was mentioning before when I said you can pump out his speed levels, and he would literally be getting 2+ turns at the minimum, because I would literally pump him up with nothing but speed. What's more, since certain people can only equip certain Espers, they're also limited to what spells they can use. For example, Locke can mostly only learn curative spells, with a few exceptions, like when he gets Phoenix. However, However, his magic stat is incredibly low, so yeah, you're not going to be healing for much. But he's really good for a quick support healer if you don't want to attack. He can't heal much, but he can, you know, do something. Considering he can heal twice before the enemy can do anything, I'd say that's not too bad. He's also one of the handful of characters that can learn Life, or Life 2, for example. So each character actually matters. The problem with Final Fantasy VI Vanilla is that every character is different in their stats and their special abilities, like tools, steel, so on and so forth. But that's pretty much it. You can pump them out to however you want, and that made it kind of a pain to decide who to bring, because it only mattered so much. It mattered, don't get me wrong, this isn't Final Fantasy VIII, not even close, but it doesn't matter nearly as much now. Especially since in Final Fantasy VI Vanilla, you could bypass having to choose an optimal party by over-leveling, or by giving everyone Ultima, because you know you could do that. So, like, even though, as far as I remember, even though Terra and Celeste are these magical powerhouses, Shadow and Gao are the only ones who can learn Haste X. Now, Edgar can learn Haste. Locke can't. I don't think Terra can. I think Celeste can, but I don't remember. And there is some crossover between Espers. And it's pretty interesting because you can, when you first get your Espers, their first set of 4, and you get them, I need a little bit more gil, and you get them, let's say you use what I call the A-team, the team that everybody brings whenever they go to Zozo, like hands down, which is Locke, Edgar, Celeste, and Sabin. I mean, come on, you need Edgar and Sabin for Figaro, you need Locke for Rachel, you need Celeste for Rachel, you need Celeste for the Opera House anyway. So it's like, why not bring that team? The problem is that there's very little overlay or overlap on what those 4 characters can equip between, you know, Kirin, Stray, Kate Sith, and Rama. In fact, I don't think any of those 4 can equip Kirin at all. I think only Cyan can equip Kirin. Of those 5, at least. So what ultimately ended up happening was I had to basically not give somebody an Esper, especially since I was looking for longevity-based reasons, since I knew Celeste would sooner or later be leaving my party. I knew that I was going to have to bring Locke with me whether I wanted to or not, so on and so forth. And one of the most satisfying things I got in this game was saying, you know what? I have 5 Esper levels, because Esper levels are a lot easier to acquire earlier on. I have 5 Esper levels. I could give Locke a bunch of speed right now, or I can wait and save those Esper levels until we get to the Magitech Research Facility. Actually, no, not speed, because he didn't have Ifrit at the time. It's like I could increase Locke's vigor with Rama, or I can just save his Esper levels until I get Ifrit and boost out his speed. And that's exactly what I did, and I had like 6-7 Esper levels worth of speed to cash in for him. So you can decide whether or not you want to save them. And you can build your characters how you want, basically. You can make a speed lock, a power lock, a hybrid. You can make Edgar a dragoon, you can make him more tools based. You can make Mog a dragoon, you can make Mog a dancer. You can make Mog a tank dancer where his stamina is through the roof. You can make him a hybrid. You can boost Sabin's vigor and make him hit like a truck, or you can base his stamina and make him like a tank, basically, and make his regen absolutely ridiculous. There are a lot of things you can do. There are very few characters that are actually limited on what builds they can make. I think Shadow is one of the few. Shadow and Gao, because they can only equip like 2 Espers apiece. Ah, fuck, I got rid of Clear. Whatever. And the best part about it is like, well, what if I make a mistake with where I place my stats? Well, no problem. In the World of Ruin, when you talk to Ultras in the Colosseum, you can actually pay him 25,000 gil and 100,000 gil for every subsequent time to completely erase the Esper levels of every character in your active party. So let's say and it even tells you how many Esper levels you've gained in total in the menu once you have Espers. So let's say you've spent 20 Esper levels. Well, you get those 20 Esper levels back. So let's say you put them all in the speed. And let's say they're +2 to speed for every Esper level. They basically take away, 40 points of speed and hand that back to you in Esper levels that you can cash out for whatever you want, because there are Espers that you'll gain later on. Well, you're kidding me, right? Ugh. One moment, guys. Yeah, one of my dogs, I guess knocked the cord out of my wired controller, and you have to reset the emulator entirely to be able to fix that. Just make sure everything's recording. It totally is. Where was I? Fuck, I lost my train of thought. But you're smart, I'm sure you get where I was going. Give this to Edgar since he'll be in the air and have the most health. 12.5 plus HP percent. Guards near fatal allies. +5 to vigor, +3 to speed, +10 to evasion. Now his evasion is actually higher than Terra's, who desperately needs a relic. Now you don't have to give people relics based on their stats, but it certainly doesn't hurt. +2 to stamina, +2 to magic power, +5 to magic defense. Okay. Damn, I really want Bio Blaster, but I guess I won't need it. That way I can put Lock in the back row. Actually, I'll keep him in the front. It's fine. I don't want to suffer the damage. This lowers my speed too. Nah, fuck that. It wasn't worth it. I want my money back. Half of it at least. That for Terra. It's actually really hard to decide what I need to get because, for example, see, even though this registered as being weaker, it actually gives me +2 to vigor, and +2 to speed, and +10 to evasion. That's technically a net positive. Because it only takes away 5 away from defense, and only 5 away from magic defense. And even if you argue that those stats are more important, even if they were at a higher quantity, I personally prioritize speed and evasion for Locke anyway. So it's worth sacrificing any of that other stuff, even if it's not a net positive, so to speak. Now, you might be thinking, that's dumb, Ted, but I'd rather give my characters incredible strength and a really glaring weakness than just make them kind of even Steven. That's, yeah. I like the idea that Locke can get 2 or 3 turns before most other characters, even though he's only going to be dealing so much damage and healing only so much health, so on and so forth. I think we're fine. I think we can go ahead and kill Vargas now. Damn it. And as the game said, there is no wrong way to build characters. For the most part. But seriously, like, it's not intended... Even if you're trying to make a speedy Locke, instead of a vigor-based Locke or a magic-based Locke, you know what I'm so forth. Even if it's your intention to make a speedy Locke, they don't necessarily advise that you pump every level of Locke into speed. They would recommend that you spend most into speed and then some into strength, so on and so forth. But like the insane maniac that I am, I gave Locke literally every single one of his stats I gave to speed. All of them. And I still made it out just fine. Did they change the sprite on him, too? On Edgar, where he does that... If so, then good on you, sir. Yeah, this is my 3rd playthrough of Brave New World, but my 2nd time playing this version with the Esper level system. God, I can't imagine... Oh my god, I cannot believe I played Brave New World without an Esper level system. It actually makes it easier, because I actually found the original Brave New World considerably more difficult than the current versions. So much so that when I got to Atma Weapon on the Floating Continent, I cheated. I boosted everyone to level 50, still had difficulty, and I basically blazed through most of the rest of the game. That was obviously a dumb mistake because I limited my ability to gain Esper levels because I couldn't level up anymore. But it allows you to take more careful consideration into what stats you gain up, basically. Which is kind of imperative for this. The enemies here can suck, but it's not too bad. This is another section that they should have added the field music. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. You should replace most, if not all, sections with field music if you can, with the exception of the overworlds, of course, because it doesn't really fit. Because I'm sorry, I like 6's battle theme, but it's not exactly the tits and ass compared to many of the other tracks here. Oh, I think I even like the Mount Colts theme more than the 6 battle theme. And it fits the environment. That's my opinion. I think that all the standard battle music should be removed from the game with the exception of the overworlds. Now I might change my mind about that later on, we'll see, but... I wish they had enough space in the ROM to be able to give you the option to turn it on and off at will, basically for the entire game, like they do in Final Fantasy VII New Threat. Shit, I was hoping that would kill him. Come on, Terra, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, yeah. We ain't surviving that one. Yeah, you can steal from monsters to some degree or another. Nice. You know that was hot fire. But you get better results when you steal from humans. Case in point. Oh, failed to steal. That's actually a really detrimental ability because speed is very important in this game, even when you're using it against enemies. Do spritzers or vaporites? Okay, never mind. They're weak to fire. Ow. See, he got a counterattack after he was killed. Because he was killed by a magic attack, I assume. I can't remember off the top of my head if enemies counter based off of moves even when they don't die. I think so. No. I think... Okay. Enemies will counter a move regardless if they die or not. What I don't know for sure is if enemies have death counters, something they do specifically when they die. But... regardless of whether or not you kill them, if you hit them with a certain skill that triggers that, then... Yeah, see? There are no tents that I can use, but fortunately this is a... restoration point. Save points and restoration points, remember that. You can save at a restoration point, of course. Noise Blaster works on most foes, so by all... Oh, not them. So by all means spam it, just keep careful watch on who you use it against, because it does not work on everything, just like in vanilla. Enemies give you status effects. Quite a lot of them. Status effects are actually a lot more commonplace, they're a lot more debilitating, and they're a lot more difficult to get rid of. Because you can't tent your way through them. Should have brought that boomerang. Nope. See, Locke almost got 2 turns, dude. Look, you saw that? He did get 2 turns before Terra. I should have hit the Trillium because I was going to burn this guy. He's weak to ice still. What? Did he just heal that? Why? What is my spear made of? Wait. Damn it! No, this is where I'm going. Hey, buddy. Sorry, my dogs are trying to pull that shit again. Oh, yeah. It's my last antidote. Master. Vargas is actually not all that impressive. Same old strategy. He's a little tougher than he was in vanilla, considering when I last played vanilla, I beat him without even using lock at all. Yeah. That's right. I don't have Bioblast yet. As you can see, that hits for way more damage than it did in the original game, but still manageable. Oh yeah, I stole an X potion, as you can see. So yeah, stealing from humans, good idea. X potions, by the way, don't fully heal one person. They actually heal your entire party. However, they can only be used in battle. Yeah, Noah Vargas would be dead long ago. Boom, 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 boom. What do you know? I didn't even need my tincture. It's crazy I got all this way without it. I like how I like how Locke, Tara, and Edgar are. It's like a drama. They look at them from one another. It's like, you killed your father? What? Let me in on this. He snubbed me. He snubbed him? What? Explain, Vargas. Was he lying, Seb? I like how they're just looking like it's a drama. It's this. See for yourself that I am far more than mere potential. And people have given BTB flack about that particular line. My response to that is, really? Why? It fits within his character. Master Duncan taught you the 5-point palm exploding heart technique? Of course he did. Yeah, I prefer I'm done being their lapdog. Alright, let's look at some of these stats here. 53 in vigor, 40 in speed, 42 in stamina. Look at that. And that's without any boosts or relics or anything. His magic power is garbage, as it should be. It's got okay evasion. Decent defense. So on and so forth. He starts off with 2 claws because he can. Gun pod? The fuck is a gun pod? Ah, fuck. Damn it. I wanted to suplex him. Kara learned Muddle, which is actually kind of useful in this game. Just as most status effects are more debilitating to you, they're more debilitating to the enemies as well. That's one of the greater additions about this game. Damn it, I know I did it right that time. It's probably the pad, to be honest. This D-pad can be a little... Let's try this one more time. Bam, 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 bam. I know I'm doing suplex right, damn it. No, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to pummel just to make sure I'm not retarded. Wow. Okay, I'm using different controls, but I'm pretty sure suplex is menu button, auxiliary button like you use to switch parties in the multi-party dungeons, down, up. Oh, that's right, I don't have it yet. Oh my goodness. I don't have it yet, no fucking wonder. So, Sabin's pummel, which is like the best thing ever, by the way. Yeah, I'm not wasting stuff, I'm right up the road. Inflicts sap or seizure, which is, like I said, hella useful, especially on bosses. Can't wait to show you when I fight Ultros. Like, he'll be taking like 230 damage at the rate that you would take poison. It's like, oh my god. I don't remember if this game equips and unequips characters for you, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it myself. I'm almost positive it does so for relics. I don't think the original vanilla did this, but I could be mistaken. Is this the girl who can talk to espers? That's too simple. Is this the girl who is fabled to have spoken with an esper? That's way better. It's way better. I love this effect right here. That pause. I do like that though, a little. I should incorporate something like this too. Making more and more people like what? Angry? Yeah, I hate to praise my own work, but I really like the drunken scene basically. It just adds more detail into what his life became because of as a result of the Empire. It's more, and more is always better. Can't have too much of a good thing. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, BTB. I'm just not a fan of that particular edition. I mean, it's not too hard to understand. What's better, jizz or a funny scene that makes Terra giggle, which is the cutest, sweetest thing in the whole fucking world? I mean, there's no contest. I don't know why that was changed. I mean, it could be changed to something better, but it was just kind of like... Terra said it herself. Ew, that's nasty. Not even a funny way. In a ew, that makes me want to vomit way. Or maybe the idea of touching someone's jizz rag is just that unappealing. To me, personally. I don't know about you. To each their own. I'm fucking with you. Couldn't have walked the other way. There's no Genji gloves, so I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna yes. I like this one too. I like this line. I forget exactly what it does. I had Locke look into some rumors. It seems that the Empire has gathered the world's finest scholars to study espers. Okay. But why, how, what methods did they use to get the scholars to study espers? In my version, I basically put that the Empire, I'm quoting but I'm paraphrasing, the Empire, I had Locke look into a rumor that the Empire had been putting immense political pressure on the world's scholars to change their studies to espers. Bribing them, extorting them, etc. You know, I actually put in that kind of detail. And don't tell me, how does that add to the story? I just explained how it added to the story. It makes you think. You actually imagine scholars being tortured, rounded up, and gathered. Instead, this kind of paints it as a, hey, we're the evil empire who never cares about scholars up until today. Hey, would you guys mind studying espers? Well, sure, indubitably, why not? No, they were clearly extorted into doing so. No, it's not, and what's also not wise is missing the opportunity to make another Pandora's Box reference. Because that is effectively what they are doing. They are doing exactly what Bannon described in the story, and they are opening Pandora's Box by trying to talk to this Esper. Oh yeah, what am I doing? It just occurred to me I can't do that. See, I had to think about that right there. Yeah, okay, that's what it is. Yeah, you can double up on relics, by the way, and even though they have the same effects, I do still get the increased boost from the. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and do that because it was stamina. Ooh, I'm cutting it close on MP, aren't I? Cutting it really fucking close. Just in case. Hope you remembered to put him in the back row. I did, of course. No, buddy. Away from the cords. Ah, BTB, you totally should have done field music for this. Nah, I'm kidding. What field music? Ow. So yeah, it might just be my imagination, might just be placebo, but I'm pretty sure that they target Bannon a lot more frequently. Not unfairly so, not obviously so, since I'm not positive, but yeah. Assuming this doesn't one-shot, I'll show you Seizure. Oh, by the way. Oh, that didn't work. Banon's attack can occasionally do magic, basically, and fuck everything up. Muddle. Auto hits everybody. It's basically Noise Blaster. See, he took 30 damage right there. And against bosses, it's far more potent. And obviously, it's based on a maximum health base, I believe. Yeah, that could have been bad. Ah, Caesar killed him. Let's see if that works this time. Damn it. Banon can actually... Oh, because I have a trident, which is water-based. Okay, that's right. I forgot that. But Banon actually can attack in this version. He's not stuck just doing heal, although it's kind of risky to do so. Oh yeah! I forget, but I think the likelihood that you use a spell for, like, you know, a fire sword or an ice sword or whatever the fuck it's called, Thunderblade, is based on your magic stat. I could be mistaken, but I seem to recall Locke barely ever landing those, while Celeste, on the other hand, landed fuck tons of them. Especially Strago, oh my god. That was kind of dumb of me. This move hurts a lot. A lot. Ow. Bop, 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 bop. Good choice. Ha! Oh, that's right. What's really cool about Caesar damage, whatever, is the fact that it doesn't negate things like Muddle. So you can literally just sit there and let them bleed out, and, you know, until they hit themselves with a physical attack, you know, you're good. Auto crossbow's good, but not quite as useful as it was in vanilla. It eventually loses its appeal. Bioblaster is good for most of the game, basically. No surprise there. There's also an additional tool called the defibrillator, which I never got to use, but I assume that it revives people from the dead, like a Phoenix down, since it can only target allies. Yeah, pretty dope. Here's some Judgment Knights of Thunder outside. Six, six, six. Okay. I always forget which way to go. No, it was left, goddammit. It was left. Show of hands, who has ever had Bannon get KO'd during this mission? Ever? Well, you will in this game, if you're not careful. Especially when you leave the raft. Oh my god. Okay, this is a preemptive attack. No. What's cool about a preemptive attack is you're actually guaranteed, because of the CTB, to get use of everybody. How many times have you had it in any ATB-based game where you have a preemptive attack and you don't always succeed in getting every attack out before the enemy has a chance to do anything? It happens, admit it. Especially if you're caught off guard. But this time, the ATB, remember, no ATBs can fill up either on the enemy side or your own when an ATB is clocked in at its queue, has reached its, at its peak and is able to take an action. So in other words, once Bannon attacks, the ATBs won't fill up for the enemies because there's still 3 other people with full ATBs. In other words, not only can they not attack, but their ATBs cannot increase by even the slightest until all 4 characters are successfully finished with using their attacks. I get a absolute guaranteed 4 attacks, hands down, period. Now the way preemptive attack works, since it's not based on speed anymore, since everyone's speed is now technically quote-unquote equal, it goes from bottom to top. So Bannon would go first with health. Terra would go next with fire. So on and so forth. And if you set characters in a certain order, that's a counterattack, by the way, I'm pretty sure. That's the only way it could have done. And if you set your characters in a certain order, you can plan out certain strategies based around that too. And there's also a Gale Hairpin. I don't remember if this did this in vanilla. I don't think so, but it increases your preemptive rate. See, I never bothered to remember because preemptive attacks in vanilla didn't mean shit. But in this version they do. There's also Back Guard, which I'm pretty sure was in vanilla, which makes you immune to back attacks, which is good because back attacks are not good, especially in this version. There we go. Restore point. There we go. One thing that's cool about restore points is that you don't have to tent. That's one of the things I liked about FF10, even though it was kind of hand-holdy. That you touch a save point. You don't even have to save, just touch it, and that's a free heal for everybody. Everybody. Although in this case it's just your active party, but in 10 technically everyone was your active party. Boom, 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 boom. Dude, Ultras is hilarious in this version. He spouts a bunch of movie quotes. Like, you want the truth? You can't handle the truth. See, there you go. See that? The seizure damage did more than my actual impact. It's like every whatever frame of time, it's like I get 1.5 free pummels. It's terrific. Sabin is the absolute shit for boss fights, especially since his stamina is so high, so he's durability based. And if you give him regen, he'll just sit there and just wait out the boss. To some degree, of course. I mean, you can't just not do anything and expect to win, but you can play defensively against most bosses with Sabin and come out on top. Hell, I think you can even negate regen. Ah! Damn water bastards. So yeah, I could literally just heal every single turn and eventually beat him. That's actually kind of funny when you think about it. I don't actually have to attack this guy. It would take fucking forever and I'd probably run out of MP, but... This guy's gonna take a little while to die, by the way. He has quite a lot of health. Damn it. Damn, Edgar's just stuck doing nothing. Or rather, next to nothing. Ow. Oh, fuck. Okay, that's fine. I thought I fucking targeted Terra. That would have pissed me off a lot. Ooh. It's a really good thing I healed. Seriously though, uh-oh. Okay. I'm finna say, that would have been bad if it hit Bannon, but... Basically, just like in vanilla, if you use health with Bannon every turn, it's gonna be really, really, really difficult to lose this battle. Hell, I would argue the fights leading up to Ultros were more dangerous. Mostly for the fact that you couldn't heal in between battles. But... or the collective group of enemies was more tough than Ultros, is what I mean to say. Not the individual battles. He is kind of hard to beat during when you're with Strago in Realm. That battle is kind of difficult. Yes, he's still not dead. Yeah, I'm about 90% sure this is my favorite standard boss theme in Final Fantasy. Oh, by the way, if you really like that song, you should check out the Meets Metal version of Final Fantasy. Just type in Final Fantasy Meets Metal. You know who it is, the 311 Rock dude. And the second song that plays on that video is this song, and it is the best version of the song ever. I'm telling you, he even adds his own section that adds to it that I really wish would be in this version. If I can ever mod that song into this game, I'm gonna fucking do it, but good luck. I would love to see that in like full 3D format or anime format. That would just be mad hilarious. Yeah, and this is where we take a break here. Get something to eat. Record some more. Brave New World, ladies and gentlemen. Get it, seriously. And this is just the cream of the crop. Really, really, really is. I can't wait till I get to the Espers. My goodness. And to my knowledge, I don't think that there's actually a single video on YouTube of the current version of Brave New World. So it'll be interesting to have that on YouTube just for basic documentation purposes. In other words, if people want to find out what the mod's all about and want to understand how the Esper system works without having to actually play the game and get all the way to Zozo themselves, they can just YouTube it. So, alrighty, that's pretty fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.